Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, Eddie Makes Art. This is Eddie. Today I'm doing a long haul using birds, or big birds, and alien plants. These are masks available at pmartiststudio.com, and the birds are designed by Susan Dufresne, and the aliens are designed by, or the alien plants are designed by Fran Baker. And you will find them and other designers, including myself, on the PM Artist Studio website. I have two new foam stamps that have been released recently, and they're available now for purchase. There'll be more coming soon. And as always, if you visit pmartiststudio.com, let them know that Eddie sent you, and you can use my discount code for your purchase of $35 or more, and that's EddieFan10. So today I'm kind of playing around with some different color combinations, and trying to, I've been trying to work on controlling the amount of paint I put on the plate. Some works, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But what the technique I'm doing here is called a long haul, and that you can see being done a lot over at PM Artist Studio YouTube, and they do a lot of live streams. In fact, they do 4 in a week. And they are Sunday and Monday at 11 a.m. Eastern, and then again Tuesday and Thursdays, and those are at 3 p.m. Eastern, or I'm sorry, 4 p.m. Eastern. And they do art, they do all sorts of stuff. P&M are Patricia and Mariah. They are mother and daughter who create some wonderful things. They bring you all sorts of new stuff. They design a lot of the stencils and stamps on their website, and they're just a lot of fun. I recommend you highly that you go over and hang out and find out what a nerd is in one of our live streams, and then you can also get a nerd shirt. But you have to come to the live stream to find out how you get that. So let's continue with the art. So if you've noticed, I've put the colors down in the description as the video moves along, so you know what colors I'm using. And I am using mainly this wet strength tissue from Carnival. There we go. And I'm also using the prints more than once to layer up on them, and making it just a little bit more interesting. Gently rubbing, and that is to get the paint inside out of the little details on the masks. Especially in the birds, they have a lot of fine detail, and you want to get in there, but you want to do it gently. You don't want to rub too hard, otherwise you can move the stencil by accident, or sometimes you can rip the paper. So I mean, it's a wet strength tissue, but enough pressure it will rip. So this one should be coming up soon, and what I did was I took 2 of the birds that I liked. There's actually 3 birds. There's 2 on the left and 1 on the right, and then some bits and pieces from Fran Baker's Alien Plants mask set. Now, as I go on and I keep layering up the paint and pulling it off and printing and all that business, you'll notice that paint from the masks will pull up as you go along, especially if you're using a stickier paint, something like a golden high fluid acrylic or a fluid acrylic, that will pull up stuff that's on the stencil. But that's kind of cool. It gives you cool effects on your print. Here I'm combining black, actually that's dioxazine purple and Mars black. I don't know what I was looking for, but like I said earlier in the video, I just wanted to try different things. I'm sorry, not Mars black. This is Black Flash from Color Shift. That's what I was trying to get at. I was because the dioxazine purple in the Liquitex is opaque, and the Black Flash is more transparent. It's probably more translucent, but I thought it'd be interesting to combine them. And on the plate and see what color I get. This turned out really nice. I really like that combo of the purple and the black flash, because what the black flash does is it shifts to gold as you move the print, depending on the angle you hold it and the lighting, so you get a look of gold, or you get some purple. Very cool. And here I'm using a pickup sheet again, just to get anything that's left that's on the masks and in the little crevices, as they say. So this particular paper I will keep printing on and try to develop it into a better print. Now, I had a little struggle with this one. This one's almost empty, so I was trying to squeeze the life out of it. This is silver. It's an Amsterdam color. And come on, you can do it. There we go. And you see how darker the stencils are getting? They're great to use on their own, on your own. If you're doing like a mixed media project or something, you can use those painted up bits and glue them down. Graphite is also on the plate. That's also an Amsterdam paint. The 4 brands I mainly use are Amsterdam Standard Series, Liquitex Basics, Lucas Curl Studio, and Golden Fluid Acrylic. So, if you're wondering about brands, but I'm mainly, kind of focusing on the colors, and trying to get, interesting combinations. And I think I got some cool prints. Now, I've got another video coming up. There's a part 2 to this where I take some of the prints that I created during this long haul session, and I add different stencils and colors and paints and more layers. And those turned out really cool too, so stay tuned for that. Now, this one I really like. Very cool. Silvery, not too bright because I added the graphite, so it's really cool. Now, to get the excess off, I'm going to flip this plate over onto previous print so I can line it up as best I can. And that technique works best if you've got a plate underneath your plate, like the plexiglass. It helps to pick it up and move it around. If you're wondering why I'm using a paper towel here to rub, it's because the paint will come through the stencil. So I'm doing this to avoid getting paint all over my fingers and then spreading it around. And it's also gentler than sometimes using a brayer, a Baron, or my hands. Yeah, that made that print a little more exciting. For the next layer, I'm adding some golden high fluid acrylic, or fluid acrylic. I keep saying high, it's not the high fluid, it's a fluid acrylic. It's quinacridone, nickel azo gold, and some nickel azo yellow. Mix those 2 up on the plate. And these are both transparent paints. So that's another thing I'm doing, is alternating between transparent paints and opaque paints, and sometimes combining them. But mainly what I like to do is go between the opaque and the transparent paints. I just feel it gives you a little more interest. And sometimes when you combine a opaque paint with a transparent paint on the plate, sometimes if you don't mix it well enough, you get some, like, I call them splotches, because the transparent paint doesn't mix in well with the heavy body or the opaque paint, which is heavier, and it doesn't, and so it leaves these like streaks, almost like greasy looking streaks. I mean, if you like that, that's fine. Now this pull is really cool because it's pulling stuff off the actual masks. So you can see there, it gives it a really cool like textural look. The next two colors, I'm using Mars Black and Prussian Blue. Now my Mars Black is opaque and the Prussian Blue is transparent. So this is the instance of where you want to make sure it's mixed fairly well on the plate so you don't get splotches. But I have to admit, I over brayered this particular layer, so I do get some missed spots, so you'll see that when I pull up the print, but it didn't really bother me. So, and that's the other thing with gel printing, it's a lot of it is personal taste, a lot of it is just it could be the weather, it could be how hard you press, it could be how much paint. So there's a lot of factors that go on in gel printing. So you can't get frustrated if something doesn't work once. Take it as a learning experience to fix what you've done previously, like experiment, and that will get you more comfortable trying different things on the plate. I love experimenting on this thing. It's fun, and I have like stacks and stacks of prints, but they all get put to good use. Well, most of them. I'm hoping to get together some mystery packets of different prints to maybe put up in my Etsy shop, and so you would buy a set or you'd buy a mystery pack and you get a bunch of different prints that I put together for the pack, and you have some of my original prints. Yeah, not copies, it'll be the original ones I made. So if you're interested in something like that, let me know in the comments and give me your feedback. I love this one. This one's very cool, and it's definitely picking up some of that stuff that's left behind on the mask, and it gives us that really cool effect. Now, the company that makes the stencils, PM Artist Studio, they also have a private Facebook group that you can sign up to, and it's a lot of fun there. We do all sorts of stuff over there. That's where you see a lot of my artwork posted. You get some great resources posted there by other artists. There's a very supportive group. It's a lot of fun too. So I suggest you check it out. If you go to Facebook, you want to look up the makers of mixed media art and artists. And that's run by PM Artist Studio. You have to answer 3 questions to get in, but they're pretty easy. And you will most likely be accepted into the group and into the family, as it were. The link to the Facebook group and all other stuff that's going on in the video will be linked below in the description box of the video. Now here I'm putting together alizarin crimson, which is a transparent, or it's actually semi-transparent, and the copper. I love that combo, copper and red. Now here, I admit I went a little heavy-handed with the alizarin crimson and the copper, but it is what it is. So you'll see it's already like wicked wet. And that's another reason I use the napkin too, because if I was using my fingers, the paint would be all over my fingers because it comes through. But this is why I like using the Carnival tissue, is because when you pull up the print, unlike regular tissue you get in the store, or like a just the gift tissue, that'll rip if you have too much paint on your plate. You can use it on your plate, but if you have too much paint, it tends to rip it up. That's the experience I've had. So here's this one, and I love this one. It's got some great details. A lot of that stuff off the stencil keep coming up and giving us more and more. And here's that print that I've been working on, just taking off the little bits of extra paint left and just layering that up, and it's turning out to be pretty cool looking. That turned out great. And here I'm using some Naples Yellow and Burnt Sienna. These are both Lucas Krill Studio paints. They're both opaque, and but I like how well they go together. And I try to leave it not so over mixed on the plate, so that I get more of a mottled effect. But I am trying to get it into the nooks and crannies of the little stencils, which is what's going to create that outline on the base of on the plate. Then we'll do a final pull on, and that final pull I always use a paper like HP color print paper, color copy paper. Actually, it's not HP. I apologize. I use Hammermill color copy paper. It's a little thicker. It's got more of a little bit of a gloss to it. But it does pick up on the plate very well, especially if you have to leave them to dry for long periods of time. That works really well. Wow, I really love this print. Even seeing it again, just watching myself, hold it up, I really like that one. I don't think much is I'm not gonna change much on that one, probably. Let's see what I can get off of the plate with this other print we did. Let's see if we can add any more to the layers that are already on there. We got some stuff on there. There's definitely a little more added things going on. This is a rose pink that I'm using, the Winsor Newton paint. It's transparent. Really pretty color though. I like it. You first think it's going to be really bright, but it's absolutely not super bright at all. Like I have an opera rose, like in a watercolor. That's a super bright pink. Super strong too, but this particular one is not. I like it. And here we go. What I'm using as my braille off sheet is a paper bag. And I'll do that sometimes, and that'll give me, other stuff to use in other projects, instead of just, the white copy paper that I use. particular one I wasn't too happy with because it's a nice color, but I forgot to add a second color. I should have added a second color to mix in to kind of give it more of a punch. But you know, that's how you'll learn. You gotta see those things and accept that it's a learning tool and it's not a failure on your part. I hope that makes sense. So when you're gel printing, it's just paper and paint. It's no big deal. And if you don't get it the first time, you just gotta keep trying. As with anything else, just keep going, and you'll get it, you know. And come back and watch my gel print videos to get some ideas and tips and tricks and stuff like that. Another place to get some great ideas on gel printing and other mixed media is the PM Artist Studio live streams. So that's why I invited you to come and join us during those live streams, because you get a lot of great tips and info. Patricia is a retired art teacher, and she's very knowledgeable and has a great eye. So I'm picking up the stencils now, or the masks, and gently trying to get them off the plate. And you'll notice the outlines left behind from all the different layers that we've been producing. Now my plate is well conditioned, so it's holding on to the stencils really well. So you want to take your time. You don't want to accidentally rip these. It's very difficult to get Yupo stuck back together. It's possible, but on the smaller, details, it's very hard. So you want to be gentle. So what I'll do is this will dry, and I'll come back and add a layer on top, and then pick up that final print. Yeah. I forgot to pull it, and it sat for about 4 days. But that's okay. It doesn't really harm the plate or anything. So for the pull color, I decided to use as you saw, the Aqua Flash in the color shift and the bright aqua green from Liquitex. Okay, so I've got a nice smooth surface there, and that's what it's going to look like once we pull it. Pretty cool, huh? Now, this does have to dry very well, so probably left it on there maybe like a couple of hours. Now here, what I'm doing on the edges is I'm cracking my edges, because if you don't, this happens. You get a little rippy there. So make sure you crack them edges. This print turned out so well. I am very proud of myself for this one. Thank you again for joining me for another long haul gel print session, and I will see you on the next video. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe.